Hello, this is your Auntie Pam Stories from Auntie Pam. This is the subject. It's gonna be very, very opinionated. You have a lot of people that have their different aspect towards what I'm getting ready to talk about. Um, it can go in a very it has like a broad aspect. This subject does. The thing about it is it's talking about our stepchildren consider your children after you divorced the spouse and you've remarried. Okay, whether you've remarried or haven't remarried, or are those kids that you took care of while were in a relationship with the parent after you break up. Okay, so do you still talk to them? Do you still take care of them? Or when the season is up with you being with that parent, that person that you were dating, their parent, when the season is up, the season is up. Okay, you can break that down in like a lot of different ways. Like, uh, huh, okay, I'm gonna start from the bottom up. Well, my thing is, like I said, we only talking about opinions. This just how I see it. Y'all can see it a totally different way. But my thing is, I actually can see it from every point of view. Okay, I literally can see it from every point of view. It just depends. Now, if you've been dating a person, and I'm talking from experience too, mind you, I dated guys with crumb snatchers, right? Well, the ones that I dated that had crumb snatchers, they actually had their own little thing when it came to that too. It was one of those types where we had the same. We was like, yeah, okay, like this guy that I had dated. He had a kid, right? Well, he didn't have a kid. He didn't have no children. He had no children at all. But it was the lady that he was dating, and he was with the lady, I think for like 8 years. So he had raised the little girl from, cause see, when they got together, I think she had just had the baby. So when he had raised the little girl till she was like 8 years old or whatever, and then he ended up moving in town. And then when he moved, him and the little girl was still talking. They still had connection. They still talking all that or whatever. He knew that the baby daddy was sorry, locked up and all this other stuff, whatever. So he continued to do what he needed to do to help the little girl because he had already raised the little girl since she had been a baby. So he felt that the little girl basically was his. Oh, okay, cool, fine. You can do that. You really can, because when you're not seeing and you're not dating anybody else, then if you want to continue to be a blessing and be in the little girl's life, that's cool. That's not a problem. But see, baby, what you got to realize is that child is not yours. So when you get in a relationship with somebody that will have a problem with you still talking to the baby mama, well, that's not even your baby, but you still talking to the little girl, you still talking to, and I understand she may be all you know, but baby, it's still a time in the season. So God could have put you in that little girl life, for you to take care of her for the first 8 years because he knew that the father wasn't gonna be there. Now, see, that's just my opinion. Cool, you do that. You may have gotten an attachment because of the simple fact that yeah, the little girl, uh, you know what I'm saying, didn't belong to you, but you got an attachment and a bond because you took care of the little girl. So it is just like the little girl yours. But baby, what you got to realize and understand is when the mama or the little girl going by her business, she going by her way and going with her life, and she get with somebody else. That's no longer your responsibility because you're not the father. It's the responsibility of the next person that she's with. So give them their time and give them their season. What you doing still in the picture because what ended up happening was when I was dating him, like I said, I looked at him side eyed because like I told him, I said, well, I don't feel that, and I wasn't being mean and I wasn't being selfish, but if the lady was single, I would have been like, yeah, help out. But as far as like the little girl, not her, I'm talking about the little girl. But baby, she got a whole nother man. So why you even talking to her? And why you even talking to the little girl? Because if she got a whole nother man, the whole nother man that she's with needs to be, you know, doing what you were doing previous. Not you sitting here trying to still talk to the little girl and then you still talking to the baby mama mm-mm. No, because what ended up happening, and this happens a lot to a lot of people, and I hate that, but this right here it was 15 years ago. No, yeah, it was 15 years ago. So yeah, I think 15 years ago. Yeah, 15 years ago. So, my thing is, yeah, you ended up going traveling back home, how much to see the little girl. Okay, yeah, but what ended up happening? You ended up cheating on me with the mama, with the little girl mama. Well, the little girl mama got an old man. But you have some, you going back to see the little girl. And see, stuff like that always end up happening where, oh, okay, well, you can't, you know, tell the difference between the two. Well, she got somebody and you can't out here to see the little girl. Cool. So I can just imagine if the little girl was actually your child, yeah, you have some, you going to go see the child. And yeah, I would have reservations too as to whether or not, okay, well, let me just go with you. Oh, okay, I can't go with you. Huh, okay, so you trying to do something you ain't got no business doing, basically. Cause I could have took out work. I could have went, but you have so, oh, no, 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 you need to go ahead and work, blah blah blah. Oh, okay. But I still ended up finding out that you cheated. Yeah, and that's what ended our relationship. But you sit here claiming the child that's not yours, and then eventually the killing part about it was the guy that she was talking to found out that y'all had cheated with each other, and he loved her enough where he ended up marrying the lady after that or whatever. But he cut that short. A whole year later, he cut that short, cussed him out, cussed my ex boyfriend out and everything, baby. Cut that short and was like, "No, I'm here. I'm the one that that's gonna help her and take care of her now, whatever, blah blah blah." And I agree with the guy. When the guy said, "You ain't gonna be talking to her, talking to the little girl. You ain't gonna be doing none of the above. I'm here now." So yeah, you leave it alone because it's somebody else's time and season. Your time and season is up, but you sitting here trying to hold on, and while you sitting here trying to hold on to the past, you messing up your future. Because what ended up happening was, like I said, every relationship you was in after me, they felt the same way that I did. Cut that off, leave it alone, stop trying to talk to her. And you kept trying, and that's why the man ended up having to cuss you out. So the wife that you got now, baby, she cut that short. She made sure you didn't have no more connection when it came to trying to talk to the little girl. For what? That ain't your child. So I can understand how she felt. I can understand how the other man felt too. But at the same time, I can understand that you have a bond and you want to continue to be there. And you want to continue to talk to the little girl, and you want to continue to help the little girl. Like I said, that's fine. Do that only if she don't have the help. Because if it's another man in that little girl's life that the mama talking to, that's not your responsibility. You don't go on about your business somewhere. Like I said, your season is up, and when you don't understand seasons, you're not gonna understand when to let go. Period. Hello. Now, next. So the second example, basically, okay, so if you adopted that child, totally different. Because if you adopt a child, that child is yours. That child belongs to you. So whether you never got the opportunity to marry, or whether you got the opportunity to marry, and then you end up divorcing, but you adopted that child belongs to you. That child is legally yours. That child, yes. Because see now you can go through the whole little avenues of child support and the this and the that. Why? Because that child has your name now. You have adopted that child. You have the bond with the child. It's the whole shebang. The whole shebang. So yeah, that child is yours now. You are bound by that child because you adopted. So it's a total difference when you adopt a kid, whether you married that person or didn't marry that person. When you adopt that kid is now yours. So guess what? Yes, you keep that relationship with that kid because that kid now belongs to you. You have taken responsibility of that kid. But if you marry someone and that kid is a stepchild, okay, you with the mama or you with the daddy for let's just say, we just gonna give it a whole 10 years. We gonna do a whole decade, y'all. So you with this, you with the parent for a decade. Okay, the kid has gotten attached. I don't care how old the kid is, 2 years old, 5, 10, even 15. Okay, you are now the stepmama or you are now the stepdaddy. Okay, now that kid belongs to you because y'all are married. Now, when you get the divorce, you have that bond with that kid because you've been with him for a whole entire 10 years. Cool. Yes, you do. Like I said, I don't care what the age is, you still have that bond. Now, if you're divorced, okay, and that kid wants that relationship with you, and that kid is old enough, guess what? Yes, because that kid is old enough to make decisions. Okay, that kid is old enough to know better, to know right from wrong, and we're gonna say at least from the age of I'm gonna put to the age of 12 and up. The reason why I'm gonna say to the age of 12 and up because at that point you you a preteen, so you got you know, I'm gonna listen to what you got to say. You got rights. I'm gonna listen to what you got to say. But when you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, baby, I'm still taking care of you. You can't get no job. No. So I'm no, baby. If I tell you you can't talk to Mr. Richard or you can't talk to Mr. Larry, no, because your mama ain't with Mr. Larry and Mr. Richard. Or if I tell you you can't talk to Miss Tanya or you can't talk to Miss Brenda because I'm not with her anymore, then you need to be listening to your mama. You need to be listening to your daddy. But if you're old enough and you just want to keep that connection, then guess what, you can, because I've always felt that, okay, at that age, 12 and up, that you can always arrange yourself, because all folks got cell phones now. Everybody got, you 8 years old with a cell phone. But my thing is, 12 years old and up, you can always say, hey, drop me off at the park. I'm finna go be with Daddy Richard, because you was married to him, you know what I'm saying? So he was the stepdaddy. And if you want to continue that relationship because he was the stepdaddy for those 10 years at one point in time, or like I said, the woman was the stepmama for those 10 years at one point in time, then guess what? Yeah, you're old enough to make that decision, whether you want them to continue to be in your life or whether you don't. And with you being old enough to make that decision, then guess what? You can let that person continue to be in your life and continue to help and continue to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And then let that person decide that whether or not they want to continue to help or, still be, in your life for the stepmom or the stepdad, or whether you want to still call me mama or call me daddy. You can do that because you're old enough to do that now. But see, kids are very easily manipulated under that age. You know what I'm saying? Where, you still have the parents telling them what to say and telling them what to do. And you use the kids to mess up the relationship or to try to gain the relationship, back again. See, just knowing that you can use kids like that, like I said, when you're 12 years old and over, you have that decision and yourself. But like I said, under that, it's too much manipulation going on. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm taking care of you. I'm doing all this right here for you. So baby, now I'm paying the bill. So baby, now, But like I said, to me, like I said, if I feel that if you marry that person, cause see, my mama when she married her husband, I never called you daddy because you didn't act like one. You wasn't one. Baby, you was just my mama boyfriend. And then when y'all got married, you was my mama's husband. Because see, she waited actually, was it a week? I think she waited a week after I graduated high school. Now, mind you, she had been talking to this dude. She started talking to this dude, uh, I think like 9 years before I graduated. So I was like 9 years old. So she started talking to him when I was 9. She married him when I was 18. So even when you were talking to him at the age of 9, I never saw you as my daddy. I mean, I never called you daddy. You didn't act like one. Cause I might have said, that's my daddy, my stepdad. But baby, you didn't act like one. But even after y'all got married, I'm like, oh, that's my mama husband. I wasn't gonna call you stepdad. It wasn't even that type of party because we didn't even have no bond. To me, I felt that baby, you was just there. Now that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time, baby, because you didn't do nothing for us. Like I said, I've been working since I was 13 years old. So if you was my stepdad and you was more concerned about me trying to maintain my honor roll average, you would have been trying to help me and buy for me and do this and do the baby. You did none of the above, honey. I still had to work and take care of myself at the age of 13, from 13 on up to now, baby. For we just gonna say for the past 30 years, so add 30 plus 13, so you can tell how old I am. So that's how long I've been taking care of myself, 30 years. So no, and then even after, now you still with my mama when she passed away, but baby, I still wasn't calling you step. That's my stepdad. No, you just was my mama husband when she was alive. That's all you were, cause you didn't play the role as a daddy or a stepdaddy. You know what I'm saying? If he had her, I would have been old enough where I would have, had that choice to say, hey, this is my, stepdaddy, or this is my daddy, or this is my new daddy, or, he stepped in and helped us at the time when, my daddy died, and then my mama started dating him 3 years, later after my daddy died, and, blah, blah, blah. I would have been like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, like I said, I'm old enough where I have that choice. Because you was with my mama from 1988 up until 2014 when she died. So yes, that's a very long time. And when I say very long time, yeah, that's a very long time. But like I said, I know people where they, what I'm saying, had somebody and they didn't adopt their kid, but they was with them for a very long time, and then the kid was calling them daddy or the kid was calling them mama, and then once they got married, what I'm saying, they kept calling them daddy, they kept calling them mama. But what ended up happening was when they got older, because I've heard so many stories that come from, friends and clients. They're talking about when they got older. The killing part about it is I was daddy, daddy, daddy. Or I was mama, mama, mama when y'all was baby or when y'all was young. Stayed there with y'all the whole time. Y'all got grown. Y'all started feeling yourself at 16, 17, 18. Now, I've been with you since you was a baby or 1 or 2 years old. But when you got up there to you was like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and you start smelling yourself, then it got to the point where now you disrespecting. And the first thing that will come out your mouth is, you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy. So all these thousands of dollars that I done spent on you up until you want to get smart at the mouth. Now all of a sudden I'm not your mom and I'm not your dad. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and make this payment plan though then. Since I'm not your mom and I'm not your dad and I just stay here and did all this investing in you. I'm just talking. That's just me. I know y'all may not be expecting anything back, but if you want to talk to me like you grown, then you're gonna go ahead and act like you grown and you're gonna pay me back like you grown. So all this money that I didn't invested, now my time and my love that I gave, keep that. I'm not gonna get that back. Never get it back. I don't even want it back because that was a genuine investment in you because, I was with someone that I love, which was your mama, which was your dad. But baby, since you want to talk crazy and since you want to be grown, go ahead and pay me back. Pay me back for every time I bought this and every time I bought that and every time I did this and every time I did that because every time you wanted something from me, I was mama or I was daddy. Every time you wanted something. That's how you wanted to butter me up. You wanted to use the whole, term mommy daddy. But then when it's convenient for you and you're grown and you're smelling yourself, and all of a sudden you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy, and you got attitude. Oh, okay, let's make this payment plan. So let's see, from the age of 2 years old to 18, I spent $175,000 on you. So I tell you what, why don't you just start paying me back? Let's just say $1,000 a month. I'm being nice, just saying $1,000 a month. Okay. So let's just go ahead and get the payment plan started. Since you want to be grown, you want to act like you're grown, and then you don't want to appreciate anything that I've done for you. Oh, okay. Cause see, that's the thing about it. People see the kids when they start smelling themselves, they start getting, I guess you can say, ungrateful, unappreciative. Instead of you remembering, this person didn't have to be there for you. This lady or this man didn't have to be there for you. They didn't have to help you. They didn't have to respect you. They didn't have to do none of the above, but they did it because they loved your mama or they did it because they loved your daddy. But now all of a sudden, because you're smelling yourself, then the title is out the window. Okay? And then you see why a lot of people decide that they don't want, you know what I'm saying, you to use that title concerning them. Or they feel that I don't even want to adopt. Or if they do, will this happen to me? If I give out my time, my love, and my money, will they do me like this? Will they betray me? Well, really, to tell you the truth, hell, whether you can spit them out your vagina, or they can come from your sack, men, and they'll still do that to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a gamble. Either way it go, it's still a gamble. But uh, my thing is, do you feel that you should still have that bond or have that relationship with that child? My thing is, like I said, I after the age of 12, when you can make your own decision, yeah. Because like I said, he and she ain't got no business coming by your house, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody else. They ain't got no business coming by your house. They old enough, like I said, you 12 and 15 and 17, you old enough to catch a ride over to the mama, the stepmama or the stepdaddy or whoever they are to you. You meet them at a park, catch a ride, or get them to drop you off. But they shouldn't have no communication towards, the mama or the daddy, because that relationship is no longer a relationship. And because you can decide for yourself, and because you are old enough to be able to decide for yourself, just go ahead and keep, like I said, if you want to keep that relationship because you have bonded with the stepmama, the stepdaddy, then yeah, like I said, get somebody to drop you off. You know what I'm saying? You may forever see them and be appreciative towards them for what they've done for you while they were with your mom or while they were with your dad. So you may want to hold on to that bond. You may want to keep that bond cool. So like I said, I can see it from all aspects and I can see it from all points of view because like I said, I've had people that told me that, they've raised somebody's kid for 5 years and 10 years, 15 years, and they ended up ungrateful. Or they raised that kid and they ended up very grateful, still call them mama, still call them daddy, still talk to them, check on them. They even helping them out. You know what I'm saying? So it can actually happen that way where they can either appreciate or they can not appreciate. So it just depends on, you investing your time, your money, and your love towards that person. That's on you. If you do that, just pray that they do appreciate it in the long run, whether you end up with that person or not with that person. But, like I said, it's a time and it is a season. know the time, know the season, know when to let go. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you could keep that relationship with that person, with that kid, you know what I'm saying, afterwards, then that's fine. But don't try to keep the relationship with the kid, and the kid is too young to be able to make that decision for themselves, because what you're doing is keeping a relationship with the parent, not with the kid. Because if the kid don't know no better, or the kid ain't old enough to even make that decision to, know or want to know, or you be in the life, because if they now used to the new man or whatever, why you still calling and trying to talk to their kid if the kid 8 years old or 9 years old, and they even got used to the new person that the mama talking to, or the new person that the daddy talking to? So why you still trying to keep communication? You trying to keep communication with that person you were with, not with that kid. It's a total difference, and that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But you guys understand, like I said, I'm not biased and partial for real, but like I said, I can always understand from both points of views, but I still have my opinion as well. But thank you guys for watching. Like I said, the part two would, well, no, this right here, I never did do a video on this right here. So this would be a first time conversation, guys. So just let me know what you feel about it, what you think about it. Like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, and just put your comment or your story down below, so I would know as well, where y'all coming from too, with that particular subject. But I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.